President Akufo-Addo in Washington, D.C. in September 2018 rolled out the red carpet to encourage resettlement of Africans in the diaspora. The year of return, Ghana 2019, for Africans in the diaspora was expected to give fresh impetus to the quest to unite Africans on the continent with their brothers and sisters in the diaspora. With the Washington Universal launch, Ghana was thus empowered to proceed with its intention to undertake activities throughout the year 2019 to commemorate the event.
To have the opportunity to say to each other on both sides of the Atlantic that never again would we, the African peoples, permit ourselves to be subjected to such inhuman treatment again. The commemoration provides us the opportunity to strengthen the bonds of solidarity between us and our kin and kith overseas in the Americas and in the so-called New World.
The year of return, Ghana 2019, coincided with the biennial Pan-African Historical Theatre Festival, PANAFEST, which is held in Cape Coast, home of the Cape Coast Castle and neighboring Elmina Castle, two notable edifices recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage Sites of the Slave Era. The month of August 2019 makes it 400 years since the anchoring of an English ship in Jamestown, Virginia, carrying a small group of enslaved Africans. The year 1619 is widely regarded as the commencement of the African slave trade to North America. The year of return, considered a bold statement by the government of Ghana, has opened many doors. People who live abroad but have ancestral roots traced to Ghana have been urged to come back home, fraternize with their roots, plan a settlement where they come from in Ghana, and also build bridges to cement their relationship with their kinsmen.
We are a delegation of representatives of the Congressional Black Caucus, as well as other Americans that are here. We are being led by the most powerful woman in the United States government and the most powerful African American in the United States government. And we come here today in the year of the return, the 400th anniversary from our arrival on the shores of America. We come here to the castle, or as African Americans we refer to the dungeons, to see what happened to our ancestors before they left here and embarked on the treacherous journey to the United States, in which they began a period of 250 years of enslavement. So we bring our delegation here. Many of us have been to Ghana before, but we come here today in a special commemoration.
Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, and members of the Congressional Black Caucus traveled to Ghana to, among other activities, meet with traditional authorities and also visit the slave dungeons at Elmina and Cape Coast castles, and more importantly, the door of no return, to observe the year of return.
On behalf of our delegation, I want to extend thank you for the beautiful reception. You have warmed our hearts with your hospitality. You have touched our soul with the privilege of visiting this place. Thank you so much. It is now part of all of our heritage. On behalf of our delegation, I want to extend the bowl of the Congress.
They were taken through some traditional rituals by both the paramount chiefs of Edna and the Ugwa traditional area. The delegation laid wreaths at both dungeons in remembrance of the millions who lost their lives and freedom in the transatlantic slave trade. The Californian Democrat, who was the first U.S. House Speaker to address Ghana's lawmakers, says she and her colleagues' visit was about acknowledging the past while also looking into the future. It hasn't been only Nancy Pelosi and her delegation, but other people, including television host, actor, comedian, and radio king Steve Harvey.
they walked out of the door, they returned princes, princesses, queen mothers, chiefs, warlords, and all that lost everything. Name, dignity, family, property, freedom. Even the language they spoke was taken away from them. They go down the stairs, we're going to see how which is the original stairs they always used now. And whenever they went down the stairs, the soil on the shore became the last African soil all these African men and women ever touched on the continent of Africa. You know, Africans that left Africa never and ever leave here with their own will. They were forcefully taken from the continent.
In the spirit of the year of return, the Omahene of the Asebu traditional area, Okitechia Memfi VII, and his elders have given 5,000 acres of land in this traditional area to support the year of return. The large acreage of land, according to the chief, is for settlement and investment purposes, and to make the returnees feel at home and set up businesses to develop the area.
You know, I have traveled quite a lot, and I see our own countrymen, our own people in most of the countries that I go, and you see the desperation in some of them, and it's unfortunate that those incidents happened. But I was excited when I heard President saying, went to US and declared this year a year of return. And I said, wow, if our president is doing this, what can we do as traditional rulers? Of course, we have the resources. President can say it, but president doesn't own land. So we probably, if it comes to getting land, it should be the chiefs. So what can we do? And like I said, we are also looking for investors. Even before this declaration, I have already offered about 5,000 acres to the Ministry of Trade, Industries and Trade. I heard they were going to do industrial park. So I made contact with them, and they said, okay, if I can get a land for them. So we initially gave about 5,000 acre land to government for that activity. And the land is there. In fact, officials from the ministry have been here a couple of times to look at the land. We've taken them around other places. But really, I don't see them developing the area very soon. So when I heard those, I said, okay, that 50,000 acre land is already there. And if people are coming to this country, government says year of return, president says year of return, they will come. But they will go back if we don't do anything to attract and retain them. So I said, okay, let's find a piece of land and say, those who are interested to stay, let's give them a piece of land to develop their accommodation, where their houses are where they will stay. If they have house here and they don't even stay here permanently, they will go and come. And then also, based on that, we can have some of them interested in investing in the economy of the area. And that will also bring a lot of benefit to not only to Asebu traditional area, but to Central region.
And say to you, Keith and Kim, enjoy your stay. And for those of you who might want to stay, let me inform you that yesterday in Mori, Okatechie Memfi VI, Asebu Mahin, told me yesterday in public that he has lots of land available to any of you who want to continue to stay here with us. I want to take the opportunity to thank him and all the other chiefs who have lent their dignity to this occasion.
Development Chief of the Asebu Traditional Area and the project coordinator of the Asebu Pan-African Village, Nana Ampa, is optimistic the move would help open up the Asebu state, a state of historical significance in Ghana's history.
You know, we built empires, we built huge kingdoms, we lived beautiful lifestyle, we lived as dignified community with innovations, with medicine, you know, with governance structures, and these things you don't get to hear about. The story of Asebu Memfi is something that the world needs to know, and then it will begin to open the eyes of the world to who we are as a people, to where we have had to come from, and then the issues that has confronted us and how we've been able to overcome them. So Asebu can be a case study for the African story. Let me use this opportunity to say a big thank you to the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo Addo-Dankwa, for using the big platform of Panafest to announce to the whole world that His Royal Eminence, Nana Dr. Kelechi Memfi VII, the overlord of Asebu State, has given free land, free parcels of land to our brothers and sisters from the diaspora to consider settling on, to consider returning home to Ghana. Nana donated 5,000 acres of land to our brothers and sisters from the diaspora that they should come and partake in our development as a people. They should come and live. Africa belongs to Africans. It belongs to all of us. So they should come home, get a piece of land, build their homes, live here with us, because we are one family. You know, it's interesting to know that over 400 years, the structures they left here, the clan system, the family system is still in existence. So the families they left, they will come and join the families. He's made inroads, he's made plans to beyond the residential settlement, the 5,000. He just gave out also 5,000 acres of land for an industrial park. This industrial park, acres of land, has already, the papers, everything is with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. When you go there, you can access that. You can come and then build your industry at Asebu. Also, the state is partnering Casa de Ropa, Aqua Development Services. It's partnering Casa de Ropa to build a model farm at Asebu.
Some of the people from the diaspora are beside themselves with joy of the opportunities to come back home and contribute their quota to the development of their respective communities.
Greetings, my name is Naila, also known as Arava. I'm with my friend Gifsy here. I'm so happy to be here. I feel so good. I've never felt like this before. The feeling is indescribable. Something that I've observed that's different from home about like space and proximity. In America, we're very rude and pushy, and everyone's for themselves. And here, everyone is about community. Here, it's about community, and that's something that we like yearn for at home. Want to come back and have land here, have a home here, and invest in Africa and invest in Ghana.
All I can say is that this is a very wonderful and a very precious and a very blessed and important day today, because we've all received a very wonderful welcome from the chief and the chiefs of Asebu area, and I think it has meant something very special to all of us in all different ages, because we are old, we are young, okay, and we are up and coming. And so it has been really too much for words, the warmth of the welcome and the greeting that we have received here. Now, I want to encourage all of the African people from the diaspora to come here to Asebu, to come to Ghana, to come to Africa in general. This is a place where it is now open. There's no excuse for any African descended person in the diaspora not to come to Africa to bring their skills, to bring their education, to bring their knowledge. Come here and do it. Whatever you've learned out in the world, out in the wide world, now it is time to bring it to Africa and begin to really contribute to the upliftment of our continent and our people.
I think we were most impacted by the Cape Coast Castle. It was a very sombering experience. It brought emotions that a lot of us didn't know how to handle. I think we had an excellent time in Kumasi. We went up to Kumasi. It's a lot different from here. It's a lot more green, a lot like Jamaica. We had, I understand, good weather, which was overcast and cool. I think one of the things that Ghana needs to do as a republic is have more interaction externally, because there are a lot of people who feel that that Ghana is so different from what it actually is. And it was very good for your president to have come to Jamaica to invite us here, and we're happy that we came. Yes, so we are at home and we feel welcome.
My new name is Kwame Adompo. I'm very happy with my new name. I'm excited. I just got named by a chief in a Asebu traditional naming ceremony. This is a dream come true for me to be here in Ghana among a real Ghanaian village, and actually participating in real cultural activities like this is something I've never had a chance to do in the United States. This is really a priceless experience for me, and I'm happy to share it with all my friends that came from Oakland. It's just amazing. I'm humbled. You know, I'm 60 years old in Ghana. I'm a small boy. I'm learning every day new stuff from the children. I'm learning to speak the language, and I'm quite excited. I'm happy to be here. I'm the happiest African in Ghana. It's me. I'm the happiest African in Ghana. I will find me a beautiful Ghana wife and stay in Ghana for the rest of my life and never leave Ghana.
The traditional area has reached out to companies and organizations to help provide employment opportunities to the teeming youth and also give agri-industrialization a befitting meaning. One of such companies is Casa d'Europa. Its CEO is Ebenezer Obimbafo.
Casa d'Europa produces the orange fresh sweet potato, which is commonly produced in the central region. This particular raw material is used to produce bread without sugar, chips, biscuits, meat pie, fish pie, and lastly, sweet potato pizza. The Asebu Traditional Council, through a development agent called Okori Development Services, has entered into an agreement with Casa d'Europa. Under this collaboration, Casa d'Europa will help the Okori Development Services to develop a 30-acre model farm in the Asebu traditional area. This farm will serve as a training ground for the many farmers who traditionally also produce sweet potatoes. This is a very common product that can be produced in just over 90 days, and it will serve as an income earner for many of the farmers. Also, the modern farm will employ modern technologies such as the center pivot, sprinklers, irrigation systems. We use modern tractors and equipment like the plow, the ridges, to train the farmers, to also impress upon them, for them to know that when you are into agriculture, you take it as a business. The project will start in September 2019, and it's expected that within the 6-month period, the model farm will be completed. Once that one is done, then a number of farmers will be trained on this model farm, especially the women and children, and then the young people who are unemployed will get employment. because, as I said earlier on, the sweet potato takes only 90 days for it to mature. So it is easy going. And then because Casa Gropa is already into the processing, there's already markets, and then we will be able to buy from the farmers. We'll also do some form of transfer of technology.
The executive secretary of the Pan-Affairs Foundation, Rabbi Cohen, is more than happy about the move made by the Asebu state. He believes the gesture by the Asebu traditional area should be emulated by all to give the year of return a true meaning.
I see that it is great news. This is a great opportunity. This lets me know that the ancestors are working. You see, the chiefs have taken a lot of blame and the brunt for what happened during the North Atlantic slave trade, for having sold sons and daughters away from here. And we know there was participation, but there's a lot of exaggeration. But this is a wonderful initiative by the Nana and the Oman Hen of Asebu traditional area to have made this initiative to show that the chiefs are in position and are willing and have the heart to want to assist in the transition of our brothers and sisters coming from the diaspora over here. And so to say he has set aside land, that's real talk. That means that I'm not just talking to you to say, I want to help you, but I'm showing you something. And so when we were taken away from this land, we were taken away from land. And when we return back to this land, we want to return back to land. And Nana has done a great job by introducing this concept and letting brothers and sisters know that we have brothers and sisters on this continent ready to receive us. And now we want to make sure that government, you know, and the wise of our lawmakers, our parliamentarians, they do all that can be done to relax the laws of immigration for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora so they can come home with ease, with no problem with their visas, no problem with their residency, no problem with their citizenship, so that we get parliamentarians who have the bold initiative that Nana has to make sure that that returning is easy so they can return to the land that Nana has offered.
We are 100% out there to support them. So if, for instance, Asebu believes that, listen, we will need a Pan-African village, and this Pan-African village will open up Asebu, would be a reason for people to come and live in there, to encourage employment, to encourage education, to encourage any other form of transformation, and even to help us bridge the poverty gap. We would rather want to go for it than stay in the Jubilee House and say that go and do a railway station in Asebu, when in fact the people in Asebu are not interested in having a railway station. Yeah, well, I think the Central region is one of the regions which is quite poor. And that is the vision of the president, that as much as possible, let this authority be a vehicle for transformation and acceleration of economic and economic development or social development within that the Central region. So what we are doing with the Central region, first of all, is to see how best we can provide facilities that will first of all bring employment, that will bring some income into the pockets of the Ghanaian people there, and that would bring some upliftment in their livelihood. So what we are doing now, one of the major projects we are considering now in the Central region, apart from benefiting from the projects I've listed or indicated to you earlier, is to work on the artisanal village, which is going to take about 14 to 15,000 people. We are also supposed to support the Asebu community to start with the Pan-African village, I'm sure you are aware of. And the king, the Dr. Amefi Okatechi, has given us, not us as coastal development, but to the Pan-African community, 5,000 acres of land, and the coastal development is supposed to provide the technical assistance in ensuring that this Pan-African village becomes a reality. So this Pan-African village is supposed to be made up of, we are going to have a lot of facilities in the Pan-African village. So we are going to have clinics, we are going to have malls, we are going to have parking lots, we are going to have a games village, we are going to have a real estate zone. And then it is supposed to be termed Brefie, which is more like come home or return home. And that is also a part of the year of return program. And this, we've been tasked by the president to provide them with every necessary assistance that would ensure that this project becomes a reality.
Many continue to visit the Asebu area to learn about their history and to acquire names and citizenship. Upon their visits, they are taken to sites of historical importance and taken through some rituals.